Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Rexstraw Boys. Now, y'all may have seen the news this week. Federal just dropped a new 6.5 Creedmoor cartridge called Plus Peak. They had to engineer a whole new high pressure case just to make the 6.5 Creedmoor faster. And that right there tells you everything you need to know about today's video. Because today we're putting up 6.5 Creedmoor against 7mm-08. Same company, same bullet, same line, Hornady Precision Hunter. And we've got the water jug results to back it up. Y'all, by the end of this episode, you're gonna see the 6.5 Creedmoor in a very different light. Let's get after it. Now, before we get into the numbers, I want to talk about something that happened this week, because I think it's the most important context for this whole conversation. Federal Premium just released the 6.5 Creedmoor Plus Peak cartridge. It is a new high pressure load running at about 80,000 PSI, specifically designed to give the 6.5 Creedmoor a distinct advantage. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. They had to create a new cartridge variant, one that runs higher pressure than what your current load has, just to give the 6.5 an edge. The 7mm-08 has been doing the same results ever since 1980. It don't need a Plus Peak. It don't need a rebrand. It's been sitting here quietly for about 45 years and not asking for any extra credit. And that right there, that tells you everything about the hype cycle around the 6.5 Creedmoor. But let's look at the actual data, because opinions are cheap and numbers don't lie. Okay, so let's run our category starting with recoil. The 6.5 Creedmoor gets marketed hard for being a soft shooting, easy to manage cartridge. And honestly, it is. And I'm not gonna sit here in this video and pretend otherwise. But the 7mm-08 is right there with it. We're talking about 1 to 2 pounds of felt recoil between the two cartridges. And depending on the rifle platform, one could have more recoil than the other one, depending on the rifle and depending on the load. I'm being real nitpicky with this one, and I know that. If you can handle the 6.5, you can handle the 7mm-08, period. If you hand a 7mm-08 to a first-time hunter, they're not gonna fire it and come back to you and say, man, that kicked too hard. So for recoil, I'll give the slight edge to the 6.5 Creedmoor. But y'all, this is splitting hairs here. And now, let's talk about accuracy. So for accuracy, both of these rifles are accurate enough to have sub-MOA groups with a factory rifle. That's just a fact. The 6.5 has a higher ballistic coefficient, 0.625 versus 0.574 in the Hornady Precision Hunter lines. That means that it cuts wind better and that it holds on to velocity a lot better after 500 yards. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. If you're out west shooting across the canyon at 700 yards, the 6.5 Creedmoor is gonna be the right tool for you. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you any otherwise. But how many of you watching are shooting a deer out past 300 yards? Right. At hunting distances under 200 yards, which is where 90% of us are hunting anyway, the accuracy between the 6.5 Creedmoor and the 7mm-08 is just simply irrelevant. Both are more accurate than a hunter can hold on to being cold in the morning with your heart pounding. So for accuracy, we're going to give this one a draw. Now, let's get to the numbers, because this is where it gets interesting. So this is my favorite part, Hornady ELD-X. They are literally coming from the same line, so nobody could sit there in the comments and tell me that I'm cherry picking data. I'm literally comparing apples to apples. The 6.5 Creedmoor is a 143 grain ELD-X, their flagship precision hunter load. The 7mm-08 uses a 150 grain projectile in ELD-X, but they're from the same line and the same company. At the muzzle, the 7mm-08 leaves the barrel at 2775 feet per second. The 6.5 Creedmoor is at 2700. The 7mm is faster right out of the gate. Muzzle energy, the 7mm-08 hits 2564 foot-pounds. The 6.5 Creedmoor hits 2315. Y'all, that is a 249 foot-pound advantage for the 7mm-08 out of the muzzle. That is not what you would call a rounding error. So let's go downrange. At 100 yards, the 7mm-08 is at 2278 foot-pounds. The 6.5 Creedmoor is doing 2073 foot-pounds. 7mm-08 wins. At 200 yards, 7mm, 2016. 6.5 Creedmoor, 1851. 7mm-08 wins. at 300 yards. 7mm-08, 1777. 6.5 Creedmoor, 1648. 7mm-08 wins. At 400 yards. 7mm-08, 1561. 6.5 Creedmoor, 1464. 7mm-08 wins. Now here's the part I really want you to pay really close attention to. At 500 yards, the velocity is almost identical. The 7mm-08 is running 20-25 feet per second, while the 6.5 Creedmoor is running 20-21. That's a difference of only 4 feet per second. But the 7mm-08 is still carrying more energy. 1366 foot-pounds versus 1296. At 500 yards, still. Now, I want to be transparent about you with something. Hornady publishes their 6.5 data directly from their trajectory table. The 7mm-08 is calculated from Hornady's factory muzzle velocity and the published BC for the 150 grain ELD-X. The methodology is sound, but you do deserve to know that. These are also from a 24-inch barrel. Your hunting rifle is most likely 22 inches and below. Both cartridges will lose a little bit of velocity, but they'll lose it together. So the comparison is still going to hold. So the 6.5 Creedmoor, with all the marketing, all the magazine covers, and all the YouTube videos, is hitting softer than a 7mm-08 from the muzzle all the way out to 500 yards. Not once, not sometimes, every single time. So somebody explain to me what we're paying a premium for. I'll wait. But here's the thing, we didn't just stop at a ballistics chart, we went to the jugs. Y'all know what we do on this channel. We run the water jug test for every caliber comparison. Because at the end of the day, the only number that matters is when that bullet hits something real. We ran both of these calibers on jugs. And I really want you to hear what I'm about to tell you. All the way out to 300 yards, the 6.5 Creedmoor and the 7mm-08 perform almost identically. The displacement, the energy transfer, the terminal performance, all of it, almost identical. Now, think about what that means. The 7mm-08 is carrying between 8 to 5% more energy at different hunting distances over the 6.5 Creedmoor. We just proved that with Hornady's own numbers. But when it actually hits something in the real world and not on a ballistics table, the result is exactly the same. The 6.5 Creedmoor cannot even spend its ballistic disadvantage in terminal performance. Y'all, that deer don't know which cartridge hit it. Now, I want to be clear with y'all. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the 6.5 Creedmoor. It is an excellent hunting cartridge. And I'm not here to tell you to throw your 6.5 Creedmoor in the trash. I'm personally not mad about the 6.5 and personally a little excited about this plus peak stuff. What I am saying is this. The idea that it's in a different class at 7mm-08 for deer hunting, those jugs don't lie, y'all. They're the exact same cartridge where it actually counts. Now, here's where I'm going to address something because I know what the comments are going to say. Thomas, the 6.5 Creedmoor is everywhere now. You can find it at Walmart, you can find it at Academy, you can find it at Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's. I can keep going on and on. And you know what? That's true. And that's 100% true. But I want you to ask yourself, why? The 6.5 Creedmoor didn't win that extra shelf space just because it's a ballistically superior cartridge. We just proved that it wasn't, or at least not at the distance where you're actually hunting deer. It won that shelf space because the marketing machine behind this cartridge is one of the most effective in the history of the American firearms industry. The ammo companies pushed it, and it worked. The culture completely bought in. The 7mm-08 never had that machine behind it. There was no PR campaign, no sponsored review cycle, no magazine covers. It just sat there quietly, hitting harder at every hunting distance. Literally since Ronald Reagan was in the White House. No hype, no rebrand, just results. And here's what I keep coming back to. Federal just had to engineer a brand new high pressure cartridge with specialty alloy cases specifically to give the 6.5 Creedmoor velocity edge that it did not achieve on its own. The 7mm-08 didn't need that. It never did. The 6.5 Creedmoor is everywhere because of marketing. The 7mm-08 earned its place because of ballistics. And those two are very different things. Hey, real quick, if you're getting value out of this video, leave a like down below. Y'all help a man out. And if you've been running a 7mm-08 and you feel like that it doesn't get the credit it deserves, leave a comment down below. Let's give this caliber its flowers. All right, let's bring this home. Recoil, slight edge to the 6.5 Creedmoor. I'll give it to it. Accuracy, dead even between the two cartridges. After 500 yards, the 6.5 Creedmoor does have a bit of an advantage. Water displacement, identical through both cartridges all the way out to 300 yards. Those jugs don't lie. Ballistics data, the 7mm-08 wins in every row all the way out to 500 yards. The numbers ain't lying. And then accessibility, the 6.5 Creedmoor is everywhere, and now you know why. The 7mm-08 Remington is a better hammer for the average deer hunter. It just hits harder on paper. It does the exact same thing at regular hunting distances than the great 6.5 Creedmoor itself. And it got there without a single magazine cover. Now, and I mean this, if you own a 6.5 Creedmoor, there's nothing wrong with that. Keep shooting it. Feed it good ammunition. It is a capable, effective, and accurate cartridge. I'm not here to tell you that you made a bad decision, but if I was to pick between the two, personally, I would pick the 7mm-08. It has half the hype, and I'll sleep better at night knowing that the ballistics data is backing up my decision. That's my verdict. Leave a comment down below and tell me that I'm wrong. I'm a big boy, I can handle it, and I genuinely want to hear it. Tell me why your 6.5 Creedmoor is better than what these numbers just said. That's the whole reason we have a comment section on these videos. All right, y'all, I appreciate every one of you guys watching. If you haven't already considered it, go ahead and subscribe. We drop new content every week, and we're not going to sit here and waste your time. Guys, if this is the first time I've seen you, it's nice to meet you. If this is not the first time I've seen you, it's good to see y'all again. I hope you're doing good on the other side of the camera. We got a lot of stuff headed your way, so I guess until the next episode of the Rexstraw Boys, the only thing I got left to say is, we gone!